You're listening to the 209 Podcast with VNT.
I'm Virginia Still.
And I'm Teresa Hammond.
And welcome, everyone. Hello. November. It's fall.
I love it.
It's fall. Yes.
Still in our current issue, which is October, November. We talked about October last time.
Mm-hmm.
So today we're going to talk about some
November stuff.
Yeah,
some fall. The air's getting crisp.
Yes.
You know?
We did a really cool thing in this issue about veterans. We have a feature section that features a number of veterans businesses, et cetera. So I'm going to talk a little bit about Sparks Fly, a candle company owned by veterans. And then,
so cool.
Yes. And then
I'll do the Armory in downtown Sonora, also known as the Bourbon Barrel, just part of that. So a little behind the scenes, a little what's up over there in downtown Sonora.
We had a great visit up there when we went up and met with them. And then we're going to go into Operation American Veterans First, which is with Duke Cooper, a good buddy of yours. And we'll talk a little bit about that organization and what they do. And because we have Veterans Day coming up.
November 11th,
Every
Veterans
year.
Day. Yes.
11/11.
And both of us, long list of family members that have served from World War I and on, maybe even the Civil War, you know? So important.
Absolutely.
And then we have a story about, Second Harvest Food Bank. It's November. People might want to learn a little bit about them and we'll talk about that.
Especially with Thanksgiving coming up, right? It's very important that everybody has a good meal for the holiday.
That's right.
And a lot of those food banks or sometimes there's community meals and things like that at Thanksgiving time. So speaking of Thanksgiving.
Are
you a Thanksgiving fan?
I do. I love Thanksgiving. I think that some people after Halloween jump right into Christmas and they just blow right past Thanksgiving. And I'm not. I get rid of the Halloween decorations and I bring out more fall stuff. And, can't forget about Thanksgiving. That's just such a huge part for family traditions for my family to gather and feast and enjoy each other's company.
Same. It seems to be a thing. Like I've been seeing it all over social media where there's these memes of like October 31st and they're in their Halloween costumes and then it's November 1st and they're like in a Santa gear and they've got snowflakes all over their house. And I just might get some haters for this, but I just can't get behind it. And I love Christmas, don't get me wrong, but Thanksgiving is probably one of my favorite holidays just because it is really about family and friends and getting together and just gathering over a good meal and some good laughs and libations perhaps.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we can't forget about Thanksgiving. We're not going to jump right into Christmas. We will talk about our holiday issue coming up.
It will have its time.
In December, we'll have its time, Christmas and all that good stuff.
What do you guys do for Thanksgiving?
We usually host. So
okay.
Yeah. So with all the kids off and out and doing their thing, sometimes they can come back and we usually host and just have whoever and everybody that can make it. And we eat. And now, no football games, but we will watch that. Some NFL games that will be on.
So turkey or ham?
I like both.
Do you guys cook both?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how does cakes do? Or do you do? Who does the turkey?
No, he does. Yeah,
and
he's
the
deep
cook in our house, or is he a smoker?
We've done all kinds of ways.
Okay,
but this year we'll probably just do in the oven.
Oh, yeah, the oven.
Cook it in the oven.
It's a nice thing.
We do get a honey-baked spiral ham, and so we'll get that, which is nice. Have you had that, the honey-baked ham?
Delicious, yeah.
So good.
Very good.
It is sweater weather.
Yes,
so running the oven will be really nice, keeping the house warm. But, yeah, how about you?
We're kind of all over the place because we're a blended family, so we don't have like a set thing that we do every year. It just kind of depends on where the kids are going to be, where the other we've hosted, we've gone apart, we've kind of done it all.
Yeah.
If we're not together on that day, then we find a day that we are together. But typically we figure it out. It's just, but I love that day. I just really do.
Too. Do you have a favorite part of like the food? Like what's your like? Because
stuffing is my favorite with the cranberry sauce.
Okay, homemade recipe or stovetop?
Oh, stovetop is pretty dang good, I gotta
Yes,
say.
it is.
And I am a pumpkin pie person, but it's weird, like only Thanksgiving. I'm not like,
right, for pumpkin pie.
I'm a
Yeah.
huge pecan. I could eat a whole pecan pie in one sitting if you asked me to and not think twice about it. But for Thanksgiving, I really do enjoy pumpkin pie with some Cool Whip on top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
What's your favorite?
You know, green bean casserole. I
Oh,
really like green
right.
bean casserole.
Yes.
But also, you know, I do like the triple. The triple is the turkey, mashed potatoes and gravy, and the green bean casserole. Like that
The
to
triple?
me. Yeah.
It
that's
has a
like
name, like a cocktail. You
the
call it the triple.
the
That's
triple
funny.
threat of Thanksgiving.
That's funny.
Go get it.
That is funny.
Get your biscuit.
So
no.
speaking of Thanksgiving, the story Let Sparks Fly
Yeah.
by myself in the feature section of this current issue. She's got the scents. She's got all the scents that you can think of. It's a candle company and started by 2 veterans during COVID. And just a really fun couple, first of all. And they're, candles are super popular again. Super, super popular, right? So, but they have a really different spin. Their candles are themed in the way of they have catchy little names, and then they'll have a slogan, and then it tells you what scents are in there. So as an example, I bought this one for Michelle. It's called Best Friends.
Oh.
And below it says, smells like my dog and I talk, poop, about you.
Whoa. Okay.
About you,
Oh,
right?
yes.
So it's like,
Very nice.
And so the scent is pineapple, mango, coconut milk, and dog hair. So they put something kind of funny at the end, right?
Okay.
And then for like a military family, you would know they also have a scent called DD-214.
Oh, yeah.
And that's the paper that you get when
you're out.
leave the military. So they have all these fun candles. They started during COVID. They do it from their home, but their business has been so successful since being in the 209 that her husband quit his corporate job and is now working with her solely on the candle business.
Wow. That's awesome.
Pretty awesome, right?
Yeah.
Like just
That
this,
smells like success.
I would say so.
All right.
And they partner with veteran organizations as well, since they're 2 veterans.
It's awesome.
Do a lot of farmers market type of things. Have
yeah.
all sorts of different. I pulled up a couple of other candles because I wanted to be able to share. Then they have another one. This one I like also. It's called Outdoorsy. Smells like drinking wine out on the porch.
Oh,
I like
okay.
it. And the smell is driftwood, amber, sandalwood, despair.
Okay. And a little despair.
A little despair.
Oh.
So
Yeah. Sounds kind of gloomy.
They have a lot of fun, and they do custom candles. So
yeah, a colleague, Sarah
Lawson, they did the Oakdale candle.
the Oakdale candle, and she had drawn, I
She
guess,
did
the
the
label.
as well as
But
the scents.
Also, she showed me one today. Funny story is, well, not really funny story, but
tell me
I
anyways.
can try to make it funny. But she actually showed me one that she had just got for Christmas time, and it
Okay.
was called Ho Ho Ho, and it did something about for those being naughty.
Oh.
Or something to that. And yeah, I don't
Hence
know.
the name it's sassy. They're sassy candles
Sassy
is what they
candles.
call them.
Yeah.
And I think that's appropriate. And, so when I interviewed her, she said they're inspired after our real life circumstances. So
Aw,
she's
that's cool.
got, different
Super
things.
cool. Yeah. I like that.
And so really good. I was happy to be able to, when they came to us with this issue, they did want us to highlight some veteran-owned businesses in the 209.
Right.
And I was really happy that actually a colleague had mentioned, because I had done a story on this because they're in Oakdale. I had done it in our newspaper. And Corey, our ad rep, had said, hey, what about the candle company? And I was like, oh, my goodness, yes. So, and from when I first met them until the current issue, the husband has quit his job and works for them full time. So things are definitely going in the right direction for them. And, just a little shout out to that family for serving our country and doing what they have.
That's right. Thanks for your service, for sure.
Absolutely, absolutely.
That's right.
So good to see it come back for them.
Definitely. And, speaking of celebrations and libations.
Yes.
So in our flavor section, I do Hey Bartender, Virginia Still. And you actually came along with me on this one.
I did.
We went to the Armory, which is kind of an entertainment little mecca there, where they have they recently opened the Bourbon Barrel
In Sonora,
downtown
Yes.
Sonora. And what a cool place. Let me just say,
Loved it.
Rebecca, one of the owners, took us on a little tour. And what I really liked is that she showed us like just how big this place is.
It's pretty massive.
They have the entertainment area. They have for like if you were hosting a wedding reception, remember, with the disco ball.
Yep.
They have that big room with the big table, like if you want to have a private dinner. They have the outside beer gardens where they have a waterfall with beer taps.
The beer taps, yeah.
Remember? That was
And then
so
they
cool.
had the VIP section up high where if you wanted to look down on everyone, you could.
That's right, with the view of Sonora.
Yep.
So the VIP picnic table.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the cozy terrace.
Yes.
They had the terrace and just so many cool things. But the Bourbon Barrel, it's swanky and it just has this feel of like, let's hang out and have a smoked old fashioned.
Oh, well, I loved how they did with that building. That it's kind of like a beer garden in one area where you can do the beer drinking and all the gastropub kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And then adjacent, but within the same building, is the Bourbon Barrel, which is really more of, like you say, like a cool vibe, kind of smoky bar. Not that they're smoking in there, but it's a little darker. It has a really beautiful bar. The bartenders were adorable.
Oh my gosh, the bartenders. Let me just shout out to Lydia was a lead, and then Avery, she was another lead.
Yes.
And then we got to also talk to Casey, who was a bartender there as well. All three very much know their craft.
Yes.
They will get you a prickly paloma. Prickly pig paloma.
That was enjoyable.
Which was, served up in a little pig glass.
I drank that one.
Yeah, that was really good. They make their own barreled Black Manhattan.
Yes.
There.
Oh, that was crazy.
Remember that one in their own barrel?
Happy.
So good. And then so they just really know their
You got the
stuff.
giggles thinking about that outing, didn't you?
We
just
had
now?
such a good time, didn't we?
did.
We had,
We did.
and we met so many people there. Some locals, some from other places.
I will say that's what I loved about the Bourbon Barrel, and we talked about this, I think, on our way home, is the way it's set up is it's really set up around the bar. So if you like to be around the bar and interact with people at the bar, which I know my partner and I really do, and you were saying you and Cakes do as well.
Yeah.
It's built that way. It's
It
not a lot of
is.
tables away from the bar. It's really focused on the bar and all that it has to offer. So
It's very nice. And
very
they have their
cool.
own menu, so you could get a bite to eat there. We had a charcuterie board.
we did.
Yeah, it was very
Delicious.
good.
And we
Very
met
good.
that nice gentleman from Turlock, remember, who knew
yeah.
about our magazine?
That's right.
That was
That's
fun.
right.
He was a subscriber even.
He was. How cool. Good
It
for
was
you.
fun.
Customer at
Yep.
Bourbon Barrel.
Thank you, sir.
So very cool.
Well, that was just a fun little drive we took that day, wasn't it, when
It
we
was.
went up there? And they were so lovely. And, they really put a lot of work into. They had just opened the Bourbon Barrel
Just
like 2
opened
weeks
it.
before we
And-
got there.
And you remember the entrance into the Bourbon Barrel is a barrel, like
Yes.
a wine barrel. Yeah.
So
it's very
cool. So, yeah, I would encourage lots of people to go up there,
Go
especially
check it out.
not getting ahead of Thanksgiving, but during the holidays, Sonora has so much fun stuff going on up
They
there.
do.
Make a
We
day
have
of
some
it.
upcoming stuff too.
Make
Yeah.
a day of it for
Definitely.
sure. And speaking of making a day of it, I got to give a shout out to your buddy Duke Cooper because in the story Operation American Veterans First, which you wrote in our feature section also because it's about veterans.
Right.
You talked to Duke about his organization American Veterans First, which was founded in 2016.
That's right.
And I happen to know, but you know so much more, that he's just so dedicated to this.
100%.
So dedicated to serving the veterans and doing
He's a veteran.
and
Yeah.
and
Marine
just
veteran.
really making things right for them in
Yeah.
so many ways. So in your story, you noted that of the things that they do, they have veterans outreach with distribution of food, coats, blankets, socks, underwear, shoes, hygiene packs, wheelchairs, electric scooters, and walkers, as well as they have donated vehicles for veterans, toys to foster kids, uniforms. The list goes on of
On
how
and
much
on.
they have done for people.
And it's not just in one area. Like it's
Right,
truly
right.
throughout the 209 and beyond.
So amazing.
Really cool.
And so giving.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think I had heard that it's not just veterans, but it's first responders as well. Is that true?
Yeah, that's what originally it started was,
Okay.
which is why in the name it's American Veterans First. So it was
Okay.
supposed to be veterans and first responders, just because he really felt like he knew a lot in the community that maybe they wanted a space to hang out or just to go to vent or just
Right.
relax or whatever. But him being a Marine veteran himself, it's just really taken off with really helping veterans. And when they're doing blankets and coats and socks and doing these drives and they're giving these things away, they also do it for those in need. So you don't, if you needed a pair of socks, they're going to give you a pair of socks. You don't
Right.
have to be a veteran.
So generous.
Very generous. And it takes all group, the whole group is volunteers. And they really need the help with being able to have that big reach. So I know that, if anybody's interested in volunteering, they're definitely looking for
And they're
volunteers.
just right there in Riverbank, yeah?
Yeah.
Right there in Riverbank.
Right there in Riverbank.
What I loved is one of the quotes that he says in the story is, "For me, there is no better feeling than to volunteer your time to help somebody. That is less fortunate than you. It is very rewarding."
Yeah.
And isn't that the truth,
It is
right?
the truth,
I mean,
yeah.
he shows up with good intention.
Yeah, definitely. And they have an upcoming dinner on November
yeah.
11th.
Oh, you were saying that. Yeah,
for Veterans
Veterans Day.
They're having a Medal of Honor recipient do a presentation, and they're having a dinner. So, yeah, they're definitely all about that.
That's wonderful. So we got to get to the next story. But any good veteran story for you, since we're kind of highlighting all of that right now? I know you have connections with Cake's boys, right?
Oh, yeah. So Justin
Yeah.
and Jared spent their time in the Marine Corps, and they're both out now. And thankfully, I don't know, that's not necessarily how they felt, but we were both thankful that they were never deployed.
Yeah.
So they were in during the time where we had troops in Afghanistan and Middle East doing different things. So definitely proud that they served. And, I have close uncles and older brother who was a command master chief in the Navy, and so a lot of veterans. So when you have Sparks Fly and Veteran Owned, and you have American Veterans First doing things to veterans, to me it's very close to home, and so it's great to see them doing big things like that for the community.
Absolutely. Love that we highlighted it in this issue for sure.
Definitely.
But the other thing that we have to talk about too, though, because it is Thanksgiving, is people are hungry.
Yes. And, that brings me to the next story, which, with prices and things like that and stuff costing so much, food might be hard to come by. I seen it was a dozen of eggs that was like $8.
You just read my brain. I was
Yeah.
thinking, I saw eggs for like $6.99.
Yeah, which
Milk
is
is like
strange.
$4.50 or something.
Right?
Like, are you kidding
these
me?
prices are crazy.
Go buy a
And
cow.
Go.
I'm serious.
So-
I can't believe it.
So in the know, Dennis Wyatt wrote about Hunger Pains, which is the Second Harvest Food Bank. It's about that. They are the Second Harvest Food Bank of the Greater Valley, which includes San Joaquin County, Stanislaus County, Merced County, and some other counties up in the foothills. And they're affiliated with Feeding America. And Feeding America is huge. It's nationwide. And so, they distribute food to different pantries and different places. They have a mobile food truck that they go through. And in here, it does note that Second Harvest helps feed 35,000 a month in the 209 region.
Wow.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
That's like Oakdale and Riverbank combined.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's a lot of people.
Wow.
So,
well, thank goodness for them.
Yeah, thank goodness for them. They definitely rely on also volunteers, fundraising. So, if people want to volunteer or fundraise or help donate, anything to them, especially during these times where food prices can be high. I think we got a little relief on gas, a little bit, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, it's just things are expensive. So if you need a little help, I'm sure that, you could find them somewhere or look them up on localfoodbank.org.
Yeah, I think that's
help
wonderful.
Out. Yeah.
So wonderful.
So very cool what Second Harvest does in this area.
Really great story from Dennis. I'm glad that we included that as well. So everybody should check that out because we can all help in some way in your area. If not there, then somewhere else, I'm sure. And we've got a little bit more to share. But before that, let's just take a little bit of break and hear from our sponsor.
Hey everyone, it's Lupe here with the City of Turlock to remind you that now that winter is here, the watering schedule is changing starting November 1st through February 28th. Even number addresses may only water on Saturdays and odd number addresses may only water on Sundays. And please remember that watering is prohibited between the hours of 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. For more water conservation information, please visit the City of Turlock's website at cityofturlock.org.
So we got some good stuff coming up in the 209. Not just what we talked about in the way of stories, but events as well, right?
Yes, that's what's so cool about the 209 magazine. We always have a list of upcoming events that in both, we're two months in each issue. So we always cover something from, both months. So
yes,
we have the trout bout on November 19th.
What's that about?
Yeah. So
what's the trout bout about?
The trout bout is about San Joaquin County Parks and Recreation and the Delta Fly Fishers. It's an annual event, and it's held at the Oak Grove Regional Park, which is off of 8 Mile Road in Stockton. And so they just have this great. There's going to be prizes. Over 2,500 pounds of trout will be planted prior to the tournament.
Delta Fly Fishers at 6:15 a.m.?
That is early. I missed that part. That's very early. But you know what? If you like to fish, 5 trout limit. So yes, it is fishing, and it's youth and adult categories.
We talked about this before.
Yeah.
And I have to give a shout out because we talked about fishing before, and I shared my story about how someone told me I talked too much so I couldn't go fishing with them.
Yes.
Do you remember that? That was a previous podcast.
Right.
So one of my friends, Brandy, happened to let me know that she listened to that podcast, and she happens to be a fisherwoman, and she found it entertaining because apparently she fishes and talks the whole time. So she said, I'm sorry that relationship didn't work out, Teresa, but I talk all the time when I fish. So I said, duly noted. Duly noted.
Well, it just seems like when you're outdoors, would it matter what you're fishing for to not be loud or talk too much or not? You don't think? No.
I mean, can they hear you underwater? Like, I can't believe I even believed that person.
Maybe. No? What? Vibrating?
I don't hear things when I'm swimming, and I'm a human. My ears are bigger than a fish's. At least I think so. I think so. Oh, no.
Let's not mistalk.
Fact check. I got to fact check myself.
Let's Google that.
So speaking of things that are bigger than mine or smaller, Hillmar is going to be hosting a holiday expo on November 20th. And it's the 8th annual, so I'm sure it's going to be bigger than it was the first year. And that will be happening on the 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Hillmar Grange Hall, located on Lander Avenue. And they'll have local vendors and food, sweets, the whole thing. Here we go, right? It's like summertime, we've got the farmers markets. Holiday time, we got the holiday expos and all those kinds of farmers market-y kind of, booths and boots and goodies and all that stuff.
Do some holiday shopping, right?
Right. Like, that's where you get the unique stuff.
Get your unique gifts.
Absolutely.
And then going back to Sonora, I feel like this is a theme, but, we're covering all kinds of places in the 209. But
absolutely.
Sonora is having a Christmas parade.
Oh.
Yeah. So they are going to have it on Washington Street in Sonora on November 25th. And it starts at 6 p.m., rain or shine.
Oh, look at them.
Yeah.
They're not afraid.
They're not afraid.
I love it.
Bring your spirit of Christmas along with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, sing some carols.
Oh, so that's Friday. That's interesting. So they host it on the day after Thanksgiving. So if you're in the area, Oakdale has its Cowboy Christmas. You know, Oakdale, it's the cowboy capital of the world.
Yes.
And so every year they host the Cowboy Christmas at the Jean Bianchi Community Center, which is downtown right on the main strip. And they usually do nighttime setup. Nighttime they open up for like a soft opening on the 25th from like 5 to 8. But then the real fun happens on Saturday when Cowboy Santa comes riding into town. And he's on horseback most of the time. A couple of times his horse has not been 100%, but most of the time he's on horseback. And there's
No
vendors.
reindeers?
No,
He's on horse? No
it's
reindeers?
Oakdale. It's
Oh,
the cowboy
yeah.
capital, and it's
Gotcha.
Cowboy Santa.
Gotcha.
No, they kill the deers.
Oh,
Hunting season. It's hunting season. Sorry, Rudolph.
oh man, this went dark quick. So Cowboy Christmas.
You brought it
But,
up.
yeah.
You can get antlers there. So they
yes.
have lots. It has a true Western flair.
Oh, nice.
So if
Very
you
fun.
have someone that you love that's into Western, that's a great place to find some unique gifts. They have lots of arts and crafts, lots of Western-oriented booths, as well as goodies, you know, food and snacks and stuff. And it's just a really good time. They take over the entire Jean Bianchi Center as well as the courtyard out front. And that's rain or shine also. There's been a few
Oh.
years I've had to
See,
cover that
they're
with
not afraid either.
some
Let's
stuff
go.
over my camera.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
won't find any reindeers, though, no.
You like parades? Did we talk about this? Parades.
Love. And
Yeah.
Oakdale does have a parade the following weekend, which I'll give that a shout out since you brought that up. The first Saturday in December from 5 to 8, the city of Oakdale puts on, it's more like 5 to 6, but puts on the annual Christmas parade, and it's a good time.
My mom loves parades. My mom's a huge fan.
You know, I love parades, but what I love about, the Christmas one that Oakdale does is it's at night. So everything's all lit up.
Oh,
and it feels like a Hallmark movie. It really does. It's just magical downtown with the parade, and then there's a downtown Christmas event that goes on, and yeah, really good stuff. So lots of cool stuff happening in the 209 going into November and early December, right?
Yeah.
Lots of really good
stuff.
stuff. Really good stuff.
We're going to be having a holiday issue come up. We mentioned that. So be on the lookout for that.
Yeah. And so next month, we'll have a new episode of the 209 podcast to talk about the holiday issue, which will be actually, that's a dual once again. So we'll talk about the holidays and then the good old new year, 2023. Can you believe
my
it?
goodness.
We're
Here we
almost
come.
there.
Yes.
So we just want to ask that everybody follow and subscribe to the podcast on your favorite podcasting platform to know exactly when that episode will drop.
Subscribe, listen, yes.
Follow.
And then also there's weekly episodes of Studio 209, which I don't know, they're on YouTube. And
Yes.
if you've seen this latest one they did it on the Mainzer, which was in Merced.
Oh.
And is also in this issue of 209 magazine for October, November. But the Mainzer, like talking about entertainment meccas, like they have such cool stuff going on there.
Oh,
They
I'll have to check it out.
a stage for different performances over there that they do. They have a self-serve beer area and restaurant. They have a game room.
Nice.
And they also have a movie theater room where they have like all these different couches kind of giving you a living room feel on a big screen.
Wow.
Yeah, so the Mainzer, Studio 209
Never
on
heard.
YouTube.
Okay.
And you can also visit 209magazine.com, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Just type in 209 Magazine.
And until December, here we go.
Cheers.
Cheers.